Hell no, we are not listening to that crap again.
In fact, here's something we think you'll think is a lot better.
Hello everyone, it is I, BigAl 2K6.
And I am Chibi Necodemics.
Now, a lot of you are probably wondering why we're doing this, since everybody and their mother has already reviewed Brawl. Why don't you tell them, buddy?
Well, it's really not the best game out there. And I know we're probably going to get a lot of flaming for this, so if you're watching, if you're fanboys, too bad.
But like, I know what you're probably thinking. I did a 3-part video on Brawl saying, oh, it's a really great game. Blah, blah, blah. That was really my first time playing the game when I started playing it. Now that I've played it a little bit more, I got a little bit more of a grasp of what it was all about. And to be honest with you, the reason why we're doing this is not only to share our opinion on the game and to give our own review on it, but we were going to give some ideas out there that would have made it a much better game.
Definitely.
Because, to be honest with you, the game was worked on for, what, 5 years?
I believe that's true.
And this is all we got out of
Pretty
it.
disappointing.
I mean, they could have done so much more with this game.
They could, yeah, that's right. They could have put a lot more characters in it that were third party from like other Nintendo games.
Not just third party, but from Nintendo themselves.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But I mean, the biggest focus here is it's not that the fact that there's not more third party characters. It's that there's not more well-known Nintendo characters.
Right.
Because let's be honest, not everyone knows who the Ice Climber is. I don't think a lot of people even care.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know why they put him in there. I mean, I know it's about celebrating Nintendo's Chronicle, but who's going to remember the Ice Climbers except the big hardcore Nintendo fans?
Not me.
He doesn't know who the Ice Climbers are to this day.
No, all I know is that they were in Melee and that they're in Brawl. That's it.
And the thing I don't get is, like, we'll get rolling here in a second. I just got to get this out. They were only in one game, and it kind of sucked. So why are they in what's considered to be the greatest game ever made?
I don't know either.
Now, we're not going to be like, we're not going to be biased. We're not going to be like, oh, this is the greatest game ever. Screw that, okay? To be honest with you, the game wasn't that fantastic. Okay, we both played it. It's not that it's a bad game.
And I personally own the game. I've played through it. I know basically everything there is to know about that game.
It's not that it's a bad game. It's the fact that so much more could have been done with it. It's a mediocre game at best, but it is a lot of fun.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
if you want a party game, definitely get Brawl because there's some crazy crap you can do with that game.
Oh yeah.
Then, speaking of which, let's talk about the good points first, and then we'll talk about the bad points. First of all, the fun factor.
Oh. Well, Subspace Emissary was a little fun, but it was a kind of a ripoff of the Kingdom Hearts storyline, especially with the enemies.
We'll get to that in a second. This guy's are you a Kingdom Hearts fanboy?
A little bit, not that much.
Thank God. Anyway, but like. It's definitely a fun game.
Oh yeah.
In 2-player mode, and actually no, multiplayer mode. When you actually get all the stuff.
Oh yes.
When you get all the stuff, and you get all the characters. It's a riot to play.
Exactly, especially when you're creating your own levels and you're making people play levels that they suck at and you rule at.
Yeah, like a friend of mine. He actually all it is. He's sadistic. He made a level where it was nothing but spikes and springs. Nothing to stand on. He forgot to take his meds this morning.
Woo!
And one thing that I've noticed that not a lot of reviewers picked up on, and this is actually shocking to me, they never commented on the amazing soundtrack.
There's like over 250 songs for Brawl that were from various games that spanned years and years of Nintendo history.
I mean, and some of the remixes, I gotta say, I like better than the original.
Of course.
Like, I'm in love with Deity's theme.
Definitely. And what they did with Ashley's theme, like you heard in the beginning, they turned it into like a jazzy sort of thing.
Japanese version.
Yes.
Japanese version is the key.
Thank you.
And like, I loved what they did with it, especially when they brought, of course, the Metal Gear Solid series of songs. And I also liked how they remixed Angel Island from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes, that was good.
And Conaria from Star Fox, the Super Nintendo game, is one of my favorite tracks on there. Definitely.
And one of mine, aside from Ashley's theme, is the Gourmet Race from Kirby. I love how they did that whole, guitar thing. That was awesome.
Meta Knight's Revenge.
Yes, with the saxophone solos and everything.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I was a little skeptical at first because it's Meta Knight. He's supposed to be the epitome of badass.
Yeah.
And they gave him a jazz version. I'm like, you know what? This actually could work.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when you consider Kirby Superstar was like more of a grungy feel.
Oh yeah.
But this worked, and I think the reason why a lot of the music was so awesome was because they had a composer from Final Fantasy VII in there.
Oh, yes. That was definitely a plus for the game.
I can't remember his name, but I know he composed One Wing Angel from Final Fantasy VII, and that's definitely a plus. But we will mention him later on when we talk about things that need to be improved.
Right.
A lot of people, say that the trophy shouldn't be in there. But I honestly think it's good. That you can see all these trophies, and they're memoirs from the history of not only Nintendo, but Sega, and the Metal Gear Solid series. Mm-hmm. And another thing that I gotta say that's really good are the final smashes.
Yes.
There's nothing funnier. There is nothing funnier than playing with a bunch of your friends, beating the crap out of each other. All of a sudden, the smash ball appears, and you're all chasing after it.
Exactly.
And there's nothing funnier to see than that. Especially if your character has an overly powered rape you all move like Sonic.
Or Pikachu, if you know how to use him.
Yes, and we will get to that. We will get to all the characters and what we like about them and what we don't like about them. Mm-hmm.